guys, Rob Outdoors. Time to do some more airgun shooting. Let's get to it. All right, so sorry for the wind noise, guys. I apologize. Can't help it. It's nature doing its thing. It's gusting pretty good today, but today was the only day I had available to do this test here. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and then we're gonna talk about what we're gonna do today. All right, so we're back out here to do another shooting video, and I got my AEA Challenger today. This is my 30 caliber PCP air rifle, and I'm just going to tell you about real quick what we're doing here. So today's video is going to be about penetration, and let's see the power of this gun in its stock form. Okay, so I'll go over some of the targets that we have here. This right here is 2 pieces of 3/4 inch pressure treated plywood, and sandwiched in between is pressure treated like 2x8 I think it is, and I got them screwed together. So we got 2 boards, and we're gonna see if we can get, I'm pretty sure we can get a pass through on one, but let's see if we can do a pass through on both pieces here. I've also got some meat targets that we're gonna use. All right, so what we got here in the bag is a rack of ribs. This has the bone. So we're gonna see, will this simulate like some sort of game animal? We got a whole rack of ribs here, and then I've got some grapefruits. So what I'm thinking is that we can take the ribs and put a grapefruit behind it, and then see if we can get a pass through on both of them, or just see what the damage is. So really, all we're doing today is just kind of seeing what's capable, what's possible. So we're all gonna learn here. Just a couple of bottles of water, and I've also got, I got this thing bagged up pretty good. I was gonna shoot it last time, but didn't have any time, so I had to stick it back in the refrigerator. Anyway, this is about a, I don't know, maybe, let's see what it weighs here. Just a 2.5 pound piece of pork with the bone in it. So we're gonna shoot that and see what happens as well. All right, so once again, sorry if the wind is really bad on the camera, but I'm gonna show you guys, this is my Glock 19. I'm gonna show you guys the size comparison with a 9mm round compared to the 30 caliber air gun bullet that we're gonna be shooting. This is a 147 grain hollow point, 9mm, and then we've got a couple of different rounds. So my air gun ammo for this particular rifle, what I seem to get really good groups out of, are going to be these NSA Nielsen specialty ammo. This is like a special ammo that you have to buy online. These are hollow points here, and this is what I was shooting in that last airgun video where we were shooting out to 300 yards. These are 54.5 grain hollow point slugs. Those work really well out of this gun. And then we've got some hunting rounds. So the hunting ammo is going to be from a different company or a different person. His name is Mr. Hollow Point, and he sells incredible airgun ammunition. And if you want, go Google Mr. Hollow Point and check out his website. He's got all kinds of really good ammo. And this is the 70 grain slug, also from Mr. Hollow Point. Massive opening there. I mean, that's a huge cavity. I'll show you that right here next to the 9mm. I know it's probably going to be hard for this camera to pick this up, but all right, so I just showed you guys the ammo that we're going to be shooting today, and next thing I got to do is I got to set up all my cameras and stuff, get situated, get my the big air tank tethered to the rifle, just so that way we don't have to stop to keep recharging the gun. And then I'm going to set the targets up, and I'm thinking, because it's so windy out today, I'm not shooting for precision or anything like that. I'm shooting off a little old rickety table. I mean, that's nothing fancy. It's not solid. So I'm not shooting for accuracy today. We're just shooting to try to hit the target and see what happens. So this is how this mounts on, the scope mount. When you buy the scope mount, it comes with like a scope ring that mounts to the scope. You have to get it for whatever size diameter tube you're running, and that mounts to there, and then the scope mount just, it's like plug and play every time. So you just take it like this. See these rods here, these 2 rods, they go into those 2 holes. Slide it on just like that, and then you just twist these 2 tight, and then that locks this whole thing in place. And then the phone itself slides in like this, and then you lock it in place with that tab, and then there you go, you're ready to start recording your shots. All right, so I got the rack of ribs set up here, and I got the grapefruits behind it, and we'll figure out which round we're gonna shoot into what. But this is the biggest grapefruit here, so we might use like a bigger projectile here. Either way, I'm pretty sure it's gonna go straight through this like butter. But let's see what happens. Let's shoot it with what I normally shoot, the 54.5, and see what happens. Start with that. All right, we're rolling again on the scope cam. Take a look at this here. All right, so this one right here, that's the very first one we shot with the 54 grain. So this is the order that they were in. Let's look at the meat first. So the first shot missed, went right through, in between the bone, and then like the second shot did the same, and the third shot hit the bone and broke it. So the third shot went straight through the bone on that one. First shot here, all right, so through the meat and then into the grapefruit. Look at that impact, look at that, that is crazy. So looks like it went through here and then blew the back end out. And now let's look at the 66 grain. So the 66 grain went through here and came out the top here. So we missed a lot of it, but there's still a good wound cavity in there, probably about the size of a golf ball or maybe larger. And then the third shot with the 70 grain that went through the bone and then into the grapefruit, we have a massive exit wound. There's a entrance wound there, and then here is the exit, passed through completely. That's pretty big. All right, so what we're gonna do next here is we're gonna shoot this pork roast. This is just over 2.5 pounds, and this thing is old because last time I came out I didn't shoot it and I stuck it back in the refrigerator. So we're definitely going to shoot it today. But this is a pretty big heavy piece of meat here with a bone in it, and we're going to shoot this probably with that 70 grain and see what happens to it. I'm going to leave it in the package just so that way it'll be a little bit easier to find the entrance wound or hole. All right, so first I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot the ribs again. 2 shots in the ribs with the 70 grain, and then I'll do 1 shot into the pork roast with a 70 grain. All right, and 1 more into the pork roast. That thing is gonna stink so bad when I open it up. I'm retaking the shot again because I just walked down to look at the pork roast, and the shot was just off to the left just a little bit, so it wasn't a center mass shot. So I'm gonna reshoot it and try to get it in center mass, and then I'll show you guys on the camera. All right, so let's see if we hit a bone on this one. Oh, so past the bone there. Oh yeah, we got the bone on this one. The whole thing is just shattered. So yeah, that went through a bone. Looks like it went through a bone here. Went through a bone here. That's crazy. Rib bones. Oh my gosh, this thing smells horrible. I'm not leaving any of this plastic or anything out here. I'm bringing all this stuff with me. Oh look, found a slug. You guys see that? You guys in closer. The size of the expansion on that. I'll add some close-ups with my other camera. Look at this thing. That is crazy. That's the size of a dime. So I just shot it 2 more times with the 54.5 grain NSA slugs. I shot here and here, trying to get the bone, trying to see what happens when it hits bone. I mean, this is thick though. But I can already see on the back, we've got 2 pass-throughs, it looks like. One here and then one there. So, I mean, there's not gonna be any slug in this piece of meat. I'm gonna cut it open, see if we can maybe see any internal damage. It's possible it could have hit bone and skipped off. Oh, here we got one. So we do got a piece here. It was just shy of hitting the bone. I mean, the bone is cracked. There's a crack here. So I think it grazed the bone, but it was still enough to, because there's a small piece of lead right here at the tip of the knife, right there. And then, oh, wait a minute. So it hit the bone. Look at that. There's a piece of lead in the bone. So it did crack the bone. It didn't go through with this hollow point, but it did crack it. Try to get that piece of lead out of there. Here's a piece of lead. I don't know if you guys can see that there, but look, we got a bullet went in there. It shattered all this here. But it did not pass through, but it was a good hit. That was a hard hit. It cracked. This is a big bone out of this pork roast. If y'all ever cooked the pork roast, y'all know the bones are not small. So it's able to go through the skin and the meat and then partially into the bone here. Look at the bone, man. This thing is just, look at this. Look at that damage. I'm trying to just cut away all this fat so we can. Yeah, completely shattered the bone. It's actually more damage than I thought. The more I cut into this. So right there, that's all bone marrow. So it split that bone there. All right, so for our next test, we got the wood here, the 2 pieces of 3/4 inch plywood, and I took that rack of ribs and I put it in the middle here. And we're gonna shoot this with that 60 grain flat nose, which is not a hollow point, so it should have a lot more penetration. So in that third shot, the wood fell over. So guys, this is insane, all right? Let me bring the camera in closer. Let me bring y'all in closer. So this is insane, all right? We got pressure treated 3/4 inch plywood, 2 pieces of it, and went in here, impact here, went through the meat and got stuck into this third one here. Same thing at the top. Went through here, went through the meat and got stuck in this one. The third shot where there was no meat, it was just the wood and a gap, complete pass through on 2 pieces of 3/4 inch plywood. That's insane. All right, so I'm gonna call the video here. I hope that right there was a good demonstration as to what the rifle is capable of in its stock form, meaning the regulator is not messed with. This gun the regulator can go up more to produce more power, but I think that that's plenty of power for any type of game animal within reasonable range, you know, and your abilities to be able to shoot, your accuracy. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the thumbs up if you want to see something else like this. Leave comments down below so that way I know what you guys want to see, and I'll see you guys in the next one.